Assalamualaikum dear students, hope you are well and hearty. Welcome to NIEBS Homeschool. This is Fatema Sabrin Assistant Teacher of English, National Ideal English First School, Morning Gym. Today I am going to take English second paper class for the students of class 6 on the topic right form of verbs, rule 18 to 24. I'm repeating, today our topic is right form of verbs, rule 18 to 24. Students, this is our first lecture and today I will provide homework and it will be homework number 1. Students, I am repeating, our today's lecture is first homework. So please take your grammar book, notebook and writing elements. Students, in half-yearly examination, we have taken preparation right from our verbs rule 1 to 17, and in annual examination we will solve 18 to others. So let's start. As I said, we have done rule 1 to 17. For annual examination we will do from 18, and number 18 is ing is added with the verb in the bracket if it is preceded by any preposition or mind, word without, past, cannot help, could not help, with a view to, look forward to, would you mind, get used to, etc. Students, I'm repeating, if you find preposition, mind, word without, past, cannot help, could not help, with a view to, look forward to, would you mind, get used to, this type of words in any sentence, then you have to add ing with the verb. Look, first example, I went to the library with a view to dash in bracket with there. So what will be the answer? I went to the library with a view to. Students, we know after to we have to use base form of the verb. Basically, after to we used to use base form of the verb. That means verb 1. If we say to go, to play. So after to we use go. But if we find with a view to, then we can't use base form or verb 1 here. Because with a view to, you have to keep in mind this whole with a view to, look forward to. So after this to, you have to add ing with the verb. That means verb plus ing here. With a view to reading. If we write here with verb, it will be reading. With a view to, look forward to, and after these words we have to use reading, or we have to add ing with the verb. Now come to next rule. So for this sentence we have to say I went to the library with a view to. Here you have to write reading there. Reading there, with a view to reading there. Next, he never thought of dash in bracket go to cinema. So here he never thought of dash. We know if we find these words we have to use of. Here of is preposition. So after preposition we have to use ing with the verb. It will be going. G-O-I-N-G. Going. So here reading and here going. You have to write. He never thought of going to cinema, as we find preposition before the gap. Now number 19. The past form of the verb in the bracket is used when it is followed by it is time, or it is high time, or wish, or fancy, etc. If you find it is time, it is high time, wish, fancy, this type of indication in any sentence, then you have to use past form of the verb. Look at the example. I fancy I dash in bracket turn pale. So for this we have to use past form in the gap. So the past form of turn is turn. Answer will be turn. T-U-R-N-E D. Answer will be turn. I fancy I turn pale. Next example, it is high time he dash in bracket change his bad habits. So we find it is high time. Look, we find according to the rule it is high time. So we know after it is high time we have to use past form of the verb. So here verb is change, we have to write changed. Changed. Changed is the past form of change. It is high time he changed his bad habits. Rule number 20. If there is as though, as if, wish in a sentence, to be, the verb to be in the bracket is changed into or. I'm repeating, if you get this, that means as if, as though, wish in any sentence, then you have to use to be in the bracket. To be is given and you have to use or instead of to be. Students, do you know to be means? I hope you know what is to be. So look, to be means there are 5 verbs. Am, is, are, was, were. So to be means, that means be verb. Be verb means am, is, are, was, and are. So am, is, are for present and was, were for past. Was, were for past. So be verb means am, is, are, was, were. Am, is, are for present tense, was, were for past tense. So look here what you have to use. I wish I dash to be a king. You don't have to think about am, is, are, was, were, because we know if we find as though, as if, wish, then directly you will use or. So in the gap you have to write or. I wish I were a king. Next example, he talks as if he dash in bracket to be a leader. So he talks as if. Here we find as if. So if we get this, you have to use or. He talks as if he were a leader. Okay, you were a leader. Now rule number 21. If the first part of a complex sentence having as though or as if is in the simple present tense, the second part will be in the past indefinite tense. Again, if the first part is in the past indefinite tense, the second part will be in the past perfect tense. So the structure is present indefinite tense, and in the middle you have to use as though or as if, then past indefinite tense. Now come to next structure, past indefinite tense, and in the middle as though or as if, then past perfect tense. Students, I hope you know the structure of present indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, and past perfect tense. The structure of present indefinite tense is, I'm writing here, the structure of present indefinite tense is subject plus verb plus object. Subject plus verb plus object. You know, verb will be 1. That means base form of the verb, and when you will get third person singular number as subject, you have to add s or es with the verb. This is present indefinite tense. The structure of present indefinite tense is subject plus verb 1 plus object. Now come to past indefinite tense. Structure of past indefinite tense. So the structure is subject plus verb 2. Verb 2 means past form of the verb, then object. Subject plus past form of the verb, then object is called the structure of past indefinite tense. And at last, past perfect tense. Past perfect tense, the structure is subject plus had plus ppf. Past participle form of verb, then object. So the structure is subject plus had plus past participle form of the verb, then object. So here we are saying that present indefinite tense plus as though or as if, then past indefinite tense. And next, past indefinite tense plus as though or as if, then past perfect tense. Come to the example, he speaks as though he dash in bracket know everything. Students, as I say, the structure of this, first person is in present indefinite tense. He speaks. So it is present indefinite tense, and here as though. So next one will be in past indefinite tense. So you have to use the past form of know. He speaks as though he knew. Know will be knew. So you have to write knew. He speaks as though he knew everything. Next example, he proceeded as though I dash not speak. Here the first question, can you understand student, is in past indefinite tense. Proceeded. Proceeded is the past form of proceed. She proceeded as though. Then according to rule we have to use past perfect tense. So what is the structure of past perfect tense? We know subject plus had plus past participle form of the verb, then object. So she proceeded as though I, here we have to use negative because in bracket we find not speak. I had not spoken. So it will be I is given. Here we have to use had not spoken. I had not spoken. She proceeded as though I had not spoken. So first portion is in past indefinite tense. Second portion will be in past perfect tense as we get as though. Now rule number 22. Singular verb is used after the subject, each, every, one of, etc. So if you get each, every, one of in any sentence, then you have to use singular verb. Come to the example. One of the boys dash in bracket be absent yesterday. Students, we know be, I said be means am, is, are, was, were, 5 kinds of verb inside be. So here we find another indication yesterday. So which one you will use? Am, is, are, was, were. I said am, is, are is the indication of present tense and was, were is the indication of past tense. So if we find yesterday, yesterday is the indication of past tense. So we have to use was, were. From was, were you must have to use was because one of. We find one of. So because of one of, the verb will be singular, and as it is in past tense, we have to write was. We have to write was. One of the boys was absent yesterday. Next example, everybody dash in bracket love flowers. Everybody dash flowers. So here we know this is universal truth. So it will be in present tense. So present tense, and it as everybody, it is third person singular number, we have to use loves. Everybody loves flowers. Everybody loves flowers. Everybody is, we know, each, every, one of. If we get this, we have to use verb as singular. So it will be loves. Everybody loves flowers. Number 23, the rule is the present form of the verb in the bracket is used if it is followed by auxiliary verbs can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, etc. So after can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, we have to use base form of the verb. If we say the first example, you may dash in bracket come tomorrow. So after may, we have to use base form of the verb, and we have to write you may come tomorrow. No change. We know come is base form, so we have to write the same. You may come tomorrow. I can dash in bracket do the work. So again we find can, and after can we have to use base form of the verb. So it will be I can do the work. Do is the base form. So it is easy. After can, could, may, might, shall, should, after modal auxiliary verbs, we have to use base form of the verb. Now at last number 24. In the case of passive voice, the past participle form of the verb is used if it is followed by verb to be. For example, you can say am, is, are, was, were, been. So look at the example. The book was dash still. The book was dash still. In brackets still. Students, we have done voice. We know there are 2 kinds of voice, active voice and passive voice. The book was. So here the book is not a person. It can do the work. So anyone or any person can steal the book. That's why it will be in passive voice. The book was stolen. We know if I write here, look, if I say I eat rice, I eat rice. So this one is active voice. This one is active voice, and if we change it, it will be rice is dash by me. We know after is we have to use past participle form of the verb according to the rule of voice. So here rice is eaten. Eaten by me. Rice is eaten by me. So here you can find the past participle form of the verb. It is eaten. So you know the book was stolen, so you have to write the book was stolen. In this you have to write stolen as past participle form. The book was stolen. Look, auxiliary verb is given, so simply we will use past participle form of the verb. Students, that's for our discussion, rule 18 to 24. Now I am providing your homework. Your homework will be these 5 sentences. You will write this sentence, this whole sentence. You have to pick this sentence and you will write the answer. Our lecture number is 1 and homework number is 1. So students, please do your homework and don't forget to write the lecture number and homework number at the top of the corner of your copy. Students, this is the first preparation of your annual examination, and your half-yearly examination will be going to hell. So please, with your annual examination, take preparation for your half-yearly examination. After Eid, you have to sit for your half-yearly examination. Take preparation properly. Inshallah, we'll meet again in our next class. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu.